Hi, we are now talking about number 15 on Test 1, Section 3 of the official SAT study guide. And like I've been talking about on 13, 14, and 15, in the non-calculator section, these are probably going to be the more challenging questions, and they're probably going to be the more time-consuming questions. So you need to think about your individual goal and whether this is worth tackling in order, or whether you should move on to the grid-ins, which may be some of the easier questions, and then come back to these if you have more time to deal with them. So you need to start working on that while you're practicing your timed sections. So let's take a look at question 15. So we have, if ax plus 2 times bx plus 7 equals 15x squared plus cx plus 14 for all values, and a plus b equals 8, what are two possible values for c? So we've got to think about what exactly they're asking us here. When I see these binomials here, what it makes me think to do is to FOIL. And if I FOIL this, the first terms end up matching up to the first term here. And the last terms match up to the last term, right? And that works, right? 2 times 7 does equal 14. So what we would say here for the first term then is a times b times x squared ends up equaling 15x squared. Right? Because what we're doing is we're trying to match up what term does this go with, right? It goes with the x squared term. So what I know then is a times b equals 15. And the other piece of information that we have about a and b is that a plus b equals 8. So what I'm thinking then is, what values, when I add them together, equal 8, but when I multiply them, give me 15, right? So the answer would be 3 and 5. And it doesn't matter which one is 3 and which one is 5, right, for the moment. So those are my two possibilities. So now, instead of saying ax plus 2, I'm going to say 3x plus 2. And instead of saying bx, I'm going to say 5x plus 7. And now I'm going to FOIL. So I have 15x squared plus 21x plus 10x plus 14. And that equals 15x squared plus 31x when I combine my like terms, plus 14. And what they want to know is, what does c equal? And c was my coefficient in front of my x right here, right? So c is 31. So now I can take a look, and I know that d is the only one that has 31. Now I could double check, and the way that I get 41 is by flipping my numbers, right? So instead of a being 3, a would be 5, and b would be 3. And if I do that, then I end up with 41, right? So you could try that as a double check, but again, if you're running low on time and you get 31, then you're all set. Be very careful not to stop here at a equals 3, b equals 5. A lot of students do, and they pick a, right? And remember that it's not going to be this easy, because this is going to be one of the more challenging problems, which means it's going to be multi-step. So you want to keep that in mind, that you always go back, see what the question's asking for, and make sure you're giving the answer that they're looking for. Okay, hope that makes more sense.